No, that's all I have for you. I know. I know, Sadie. What are you doing? There are no more treats, Sadie. Hey, no more. You had an. I just I just can't catch a break. Mm. And I don't know what's up. Morning, everybody. We're back. Ish. Oh. Happy anniversary. Yes, today is my affiliate anniversary day. How about that? Congratulations, right? I really don't does it say does it actually say sorry, which year? Cuz I think it's been a couple of years actually. At least a couple of years. Cheers, everybody. Gosh. It's been like 3 years, I think. I want to say it's been 3 years. And what did I do? I had this weird sort of morbid fantasy to just come out here in my pajamas. Come out here in my pajamas and just play like whatever it is I want to play. And I thought to myself, well, I kind of treat this like a job. So if I'm out here in my pajamas and just not caring and my hair's all disheveled and I'm not I'm not going to further the cause. I mean, I treat I want to be treated seriously as a gamer. At the same time, I want to have a lot of fun with it too. So yesterday we were streaming, and unfortunately, we did not have luck in anything we were doing, and it was so disappointing. I had literally just stopped playing. I was so upset. I think maybe I had an hour, just 1 hour of 3 videos cut together, maybe. So I just I was upset that my stream wasn't working. I was upset that my I was playing a game that was supposed to be really fun and everything, and I was just what's the word? Deflated or something. It was annoying, it was frustrating, it was disappointing, all wrapped up in one really bad coupon. So I decided to just stop and hit the reset button, and I wasn't exactly planning on a stream today, but I was hoping for a stream today because it is my anniversary, and I was like, what can I do? What can I do? So this is more of a change time, change luck kind of thing. to see, to actually see if this will help my situation. Help my situation. But I did want to keep some of the relaxed atmosphere. I freshened up a little bit and I got my pajamas on. I actually put some nice fresh pajamas on cuz I didn't necessarily want to sit here in not fresh pajamas. And I got my coffee. Coffee is not something that I indulge in a lot, but I it seems like it's one of those moments where okay, let's de-stress a bit because after everything that happened yesterday, and I hope it doesn't happen today. I'm just hoping, and I've pretty much run out of options other than changing ISPs at this point. I haven't tried giving myself a new router, but I don't really think that that's my problem. Honestly, I think my internal network is fine. I think it's my external network that's been the the problem. All right. So what are we doing today? As I was saying yesterday, um, our Whack and Unwrap that I actually did film is you can the title is, I'm not making this up, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. And we did Whack and Unwrap yesterday. I still have that video before it cut out. Before it cut out, one of the like 5 times it actually cut out. All right, we won't dwell on that. I'm I'm still bitter. I might have to change my streaming to accommodate. If I have a better streaming time, better streaming connection, I might have to adjust accordingly. Oh. So what's going to happen? I'm going to sit here and talk for a little while. I'm going to finish my first cup of coffee. I'm going to go get a refill of something. I might have some coffee. I call this coffee. It's fake coffee. It's barley based, non-caffeinated at all. It's not even decaf. It's non-caffeinated coffee flavored drink, I think is what they actually put on the package. There were a few things on sale, and today's Thursday, so that's when they like to update their sales with some stuff. I did notice that there are a lot of items that circulate on sale, so that's cool. Oh. Nice, nice. All right. So I hope everybody's having a great day. I will personally be having a great day, depending on the stability of my stream. I know I said we'd move past it, but I mean, it was rather traumatic. Let's see. Look what I got. Look what I got. Mom, I have a few like I have a wonderful friend. Something of a neighbor. Just lives down the road. Think tell. We like to do puzzles as well as my mother. We like to do puzzles and I got this nice, lovely new puzzle gifted, and it's movie quotes of the 80s, and I think it's pretty awesome. Uh, it might actually be something of a fast puzzle to do. personally, because the words might be helpful. It's not just colors. It's all these little phrases. So you can see there's Jessica Rabbit. I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way. And then I know, what is that? Get away from her, you bitch. I still have to watch Aliens. What's this one? Ferris Bueller's Day Off. This is it. Life moves pretty quick. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. And I love Snap Out of It. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K. That's the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And so this is made by White Mountain Puzzles, and I didn't realize they actually do a lot of other things, but there's also stuff from, because Mom and we've actually done this puzzle the 1980s, and I think we might have done a few others, but I really like this one. So when my mom comes to visit, I'm definitely doing this one. We are gonna have such a blast. We did a puzzle before. It was a great puzzle for her. It was this a puzzles. Yeah, did you see it? Do you want me to bring it back up? It's movie quotes of the 80s. Oh, okay. Show again, please. I just gave you shout outs, so I won't be able to shout you again for another hour. But it's movie quotes of the 80s. and if you zoom in, I mean, I love it. It's wait till they get it, and I was doing Jessica Rabbit, or there's Ralphie from A Christmas Story. You'll shoot your eye out, kid. What else? Let's see. Here's the other side of the puzzle. Ghostbusters. What's Huggies? It is the perfect puzzle for me. Mom and I are gonna have just a whole bunch of fun doing this one. There was a puzzle that Mom and I did that it was awesome for her. It was this huge collection of albums and concert posters and tickets from the 60s and the 70s. She loved it, and I liked it too, because I'm a fan of the rock and roll coming out of the 60s and the 70s. But for her, it seemed like she was having a nice trip down memory lane, taking in all the stock. She was a big Jimi Hendrix fan, George Harrison. Salute. So, other than the kerfuffle that was happening yesterday with my stream, and I honestly don't know why, I was curious as to this game, and I played it a little bit. So before playing it, I was faced with two options, really, and I didn't really expect anything else, which is kind of bad on me. So this game, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, is getting a lot of buzz on its overall experience, basically. And I thought to myself, okay, what's happening with this game? Um, there's a lot of internet chat on saying, "Oh gosh, turn-based role-playing games are not cool anymore, but this game is bringing it back." And I was like, "Well, okay." I grew up in the original age of like Final Fantasy, Dragon Warrior 1, Final Fantasy 1. I have played turn-based video games. I know what it's like, and uh, I'm not really sure Baldur's Gate 3. Well, okay, Baldur's Gate 3 as yes, it happens in turns, but in my opinion, Baldur's Gate 3 is more of a dungeon style tactical turn-based RPG. I think I've mentioned this before. And there is there is a whole subset that follows things like Baldur's Gate 3. There's Pillars of Eternity and Pillars of Eternity 2. Um a good example in sort of a modern time set would have been what Final Fantasy 13 became, uh, more of a turn-based RPG. So Baldur's Gate 3 introduces a little bit of more of a dungeon feel to it, dungeons and tactics feel to it, and it follows. Um, I I have to play. I have to play a little bit more of this one to see how that plays out. But the battle scheme takes place in turns. In Baldur's Gate 3, everything takes place in turns, but it is still sort of a tactical based thing where you move your character a certain amount of spaces, you execute your actions, and that's how you play that. Sort of a top down view of a map, or an isometric angle of your entire battlefield. Final Fantasy Tactics, great example. Angled view of your map. You get to move and then execute things like the Disgaea series. Also, you have a huge tactical thing, tactical sort of style thing. Whereas in just a turn-based RPG, it's you and your enemy. You don't really move to try and come around and attack from the back. I was faced with two options. One was, is this game something completely new, and it's nothing I've not been introduced to before? I was open to that experience. That would have been kind of fun. And the other option would be two. Is the reason it's getting a lot of buzz because the turn-based market for RPGs isn't really strong right now. They don't, and it doesn't perhaps have enough competition. I was worried that I'm just gonna play this game and find out that it's a whole bunch of other games mixed together, And it wouldn't necessarily be something new to me, but I mean, you'd have to take into account that I've played a lot of games. Uh, what's what's the new category for me? What is that going to be? And it may or may not happen. And this was before I played the game. I didn't necessarily go into it with any expectations whatsoever, other than just these outcomes. And and I was also wondering if people just weren't exposed enough to turn-based RPGs in the modern era, where everything is action or RPG oriented, and it becomes a matter of taking turns really slow, etc., etc. I played the game as limited as I did. I played the game just a little bit in, I guess, shifts. Whenever my stream was working, I played the game a bit. And what I found out was the graphics are great. The gameplay is good. It could use something of a bit of some QOL enhancements to the graphics, just in terms of when you get stuck somewhere, rotating the camera around. Sometimes it gets a little meh, but I, I'm not playing it in 4K. Perhaps that could be a different thing. I've not actually tried. My capture card can do 4K. The only problem is I wouldn't be able to output it to the TV. I would have to use my computer. So maybe I'll try that one of these days. And when it comes to the storyline is fairly interesting. I don't think, if I think back on all of my experiences in video games, maybe movies, it's something similar, but video games, I don't know. Um, we'll touch back on the story, or maybe upgrade my TV. I have a few projects before that. Just a few projects before that. Um, the storyline, yes, it's got kind of a different story. It pulls you in a little slow, but the gameplay when it comes to the battle system. So far, I haven't actually done any enemy style battle system. What they've done was the entire first part of the game they call the prologue, and it, of course, introduces you to how the game is played, set. There are no manuals anymore, so it's more like we have to put in a tutorial level for everything. And that's okay, because you can only read about something so much, but until you put it into practice, you may or may not be better at it, get better at it. Um, I did notice, if I was looking in the database in my mind through all the games I've played, I noticed that the battle system mirrors a couple of games altogether. So the graphics and some of the battle system angles remind me a bit of Lost Odyssey for the 360. I mean, that was a great game. If you've not played the game, play the game. I believe it's on Xbox's list of legacy games they brought over to the new systems, Xbox One, Series X, backwards compatible. So, Lost Odyssey, great RPG, great graphics. Sometimes it's a little slow in the story, but that's just a bit in the beginning part. I have streamed that in pieces lately. Um, so the angles in the battle system, I think, kind of remind me of Persona, the one of the latest Persona games, where it's sort of on your character, but zoomed to where your focal point is your enemy. So you have like a camera sort of Batman angle styled here. Here's your character, and then into the screen is your enemy or your target. The actual battle reminds me a little bit of a game called. Actually, I have that on here. Let me see if I can get to it. It's under the, because damn. Darn the articles. We're going to display everything alphabetically. The Legend of Dragoon. PlayStation 1 era style turn-based RPG that unfortunately did not get a lot of love or recognition because it mirrors a lot of Final Fantasy VII. And that is very, very unfortunate because this is actually a really cool game. There were things in The Legend of Dragoon that were not in Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII was a turn-based RPG in the battle system. Select attack, you attacked, select magic, you magicked, and that was it. I mean, items and stuff like that. What I'm saying is you have your selection, you make your selection, and your character does whatever it is. In The Legend of Dragoon, the battle system is really interesting. It's a bit intricate. You have the capability of doing timed presses to extend your attack depending on what skill you're using and what level you are. So these attacks also leveled up, and you can do more damage, and you'll gain as you gain levels, you get more attacks that can do more combo hits. They were set up. The skills were set up with a certain amount of hits that you can do. So the first thing you could do with your main character was a skill called Double Slash. And you select attack, you do your attack, and then you get a quick time event where if you pressed at the right time, then you extended your combo, and then your skill was Double Slash instead of attack. The complexity got bigger as you gain levels and get more skills. So, for example, there was... We're dropping frames. I wish there was a way to just pause. Until this event is over for whatever it is. Go get him, Sadie. Go get him, Sadie. I apologize. I'm just taking a second to let it catch up. Where are we? Half an hour into streaming. I'm going to keep on going. For whatever reason, it's just being finicky. So you could extend your combo in the Legend of Dragoon, and it's based on QuickTime events for your button presses. The camera would let you know when to press the button. The interesting also thing about that was you could also get counterattacked by your enemy. Actually, I think, yeah. So when you're in your combo, the enemy could potentially break your combo with a specific timing press that you had to do. So the extending of your combo had sort of like a blue outline into a square. The enemy would bring up a prompt, and you had to press the button at the same time, or sorry, you had to press the button at a certain time to prevent them from breaking your combo based on some QuickTime events. I mean, and that was pretty cool. It was a little frustrating because, of course, the longer your combo, the more times they had to break it if you didn't get your button press right. And of course, later on in the game, you know, a lot of things would potentially break your combo. I loved it, and I didn't play enough of it, honestly. I think I got to about disc, I forget. The story was great. You started off very broad, and then it sort of got narrow, and then it opened up again, and it sort of got narrow again. I was fighting a boss that had no elemental weakness, and that was a really tough fight. After that battle, of course, you know, you're at your apex of the story plot point, and then after the battle, it opens up again. It's like, oh, we're into another town. It's kind of where I stopped playing, and I shouldn't have. I should have kept it going. I just thought, you know, I just thought, hey, this is a good time to stop it. And unfortunately, I never just picked it up again, which is sad because it's a good game. Everybody should give it a try. The Legend of Dragoon. It's a good game. Unfortunately, it doesn't. The re-release that it got did not have any graphical enhancements. So if you play it on the PS1, if you play it on the PS5, it does look a bit grainy, choppy. It did not it did not get the love that it should have. When you get a re-release, come on, clean up the graphics a little bit. I call it the PlayStation 1 filter. For some reason, the PlayStation 1, a lot of the games were really hard-coded to do the sort of standard definition of the time, which you know, why would you bother planning for the future if you can get the max graphics out of your games by doing some hard coding into the game to say, okay, just do this output. Go ahead, more power to you. You know, you don't know the future. You don't know that there was going to be some high def stuff happening. So that's what the game reminded me of. It was a couple of different games all soaked into one. And we're going to go ahead and start. I really do want to start over. My experience with the game did not allow for me to really allow, I want to say, for a good um, gaming experience. I don't even know if even if I select continue, where would I actually start? Hopefully, we'll have enough luck today to enjoy this game. So I looked at this picture. Why is the Eiffel Tower all nasty? And I thought maybe that's not the Eiffel Tower until I looked at this picture and I saw the Arc de Triomphe, and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of Paris.
Do it before they wither and die.
What, the flower? Or Sophie?
Ooh, dark. Sophie would approve. Hey, you said it, not me. The others are waiting for you. You're supposed to be helping with the festival.
With what? Putting up 3 tables? They'll manage.
You underestimate Lumiere's enthusiasm for the expedition. There's at least 5 tables.
Marvelous.
Have you tried throwing with your other arm instead? If you could hit the paintress directly, that would actually be useful.
You know, hobbies don't always have to be useful. I'm enjoying the uselessness of today and readying my usefulness for tomorrow. And soon, I'll get to do a lot more than throw rocks.
That's what all the other expeditions said.
Hey, you know they gave their lives to lay the trail for us, right?
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
Yeah.
You still got a flower to give, no?
Yes. Just I'm not sure how to start. After 4 years apart, what do I say to her on the day of her gamage?
You're asking me? I don't know. Sun's about to set, so be direct. Hey, Soph, been a while. Could we...
I know. I know. We just dropped.